at all. Now, the Henry tax review looms as a serious challenge for the Rudd government to prove its reform credentials in the long-term national interest.
Treasurer Wayne Swan is expected to outline a package of sweeteners to make small business one of the big winners, while the resource sector could be forced to pay for the government's plans to rebuild the nation.
This morning, political editor Laurie Oakes talks to opposition finance spokesperson Andrew Robb. Morning, Laurie.
Morning, Cam. Mr. Robb, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Laurie.
Before we get on to tax, can I ask you about Malcolm Turnbull, or Malcolm U. Turnbull as he's now known? What's your reaction to his decision not to retire?
Well, I think I'd take a lot of heart out of it, to be honest, because I think the prime motivation is that Malcolm has recognised that we've now got an opportunity. In fact, you know, we've got almost a responsibility to try and win office, but a real opportunity. And we all come here to be in government, to try and do good things, and there's a hell of a mess to fix up, and I think Malcolm, you know, he would be an important part of that team if we get into government after the next election.
Now, Malcolm Turnbull saw you as planting the knife when you attacked his ETS scheme in the party room. One of his staff accused you of an act of calculated treachery. So how will you get on with him?
Look, I've known Malcolm for a long time, 20, 25 years. We've been good friends. We had a policy difference, and you know, it's the way it was. And you know, when you come here, you've got to call it as you see it, especially on the big issues, I think. So we did have a disagreement on that, and that's the way it is. But I got no doubt that we can work, you know, very strongly together. And as I say, got a great intellect. As part of a new government, he will be a significant part of the team.
Now, presumably, if you win the election, he'll want an economic portfolio. What if it's yours?
Well, I take it as it comes, Laurie. I think, you know, we've got a lot of talented people, and you know, Tony will make a decision about where to best put people. I've been in, I think this is my 6th portfolio in 6 years, so I'm quite adept at moving one thing to another, but we'll see. Let's not count our chickens.
Okay, well, you're in Canberra for the release of the Henry tax report. Like me, you're going into a lock-up shortly. What are you expecting?
What I'm expecting is that we will see the net result of this tax package will be a tax grab masquerading as tax reform. I think the primary objective of the government going into this, they've made such a mess. They've overspent grossly. They've created a massive debt, which is the subject they never talk about. It's a dead cat sitting on the table, this massive debt that's going to hold back this country for many decades. They've monumentally mismanaged programs. They've wasted billions of dollars. They've broken promises on a whole host of fronts. I mean, I'd defy you to name one major project that they promised going into the last election that they've completed. Not one. So we've had a wasted 3 years, but more than that, the economy's in a chronic position. They are desperate to tax. I mean, their default position always is to tax, not take the tough decisions. So
I'd make the point, though, that the decision to set up this Henry tax reform committee was made long before any of this happened. They'd only been in government a few months when they set up this committee.
That's true.
So the motivation clearly is not what you're saying.
But they set up 173 reviews. I mean, this is one of their problems. They've got so much on that nothing gets done. Kevin Rudd is like the preordained home handyman who starts 100 projects and finishes none of them.
But are you saying they shouldn't have looked at tax reform?
No, they should have. But they've looked at 100 things. They've done nothing. They're all talk. They're no action. And this again, the politics overrides the noble objectives. Like on this one, they've had the report, I think, since December.
Yep.
When do they release it? Here we are, you and I and all of us today have got 4 hours, and then we come out and we've got to be instant experts. Why wasn't this report released months ago so that all of us could consider it, then consider the government's response, give them time like the rest of us? It's a political exercise. We run then into the budget. We've been given no opportunity with any of our policies to cost them, because until the Henry tax review and their response was out, and until the budget, our hands have been tied. This is a deliberate political exercise, and it's also, you know, you get a sense of the panic. All these things in the last few weeks, none of it properly considered. again, I think already from what we've heard is coming, or the centrepiece of this thing today, is going to be a massive tax grab, you know, dressed up as tax reform, and it's because they want to keep spending. They don't want to deal with this debt problem, and there is another way. There's a better way.
But it does interest me. The coalition's already decided it's a tax grab. It hasn't sent a line of the Andrew report yet.
Well, in terms of what has been leaked, and I mean, this thing was held so tightly. There's been obviously a deliberate exercise in the last week to put things, to condition the electorate, to condition the mining industry. If that thing is true, if what has gone out there is broadly accurate, this is a tax grab.
Okay, well, if it was supposed to condition us, it hasn't worked on you. It seems